Soul Garden.
Good morning! From my smartphone to yours, I'm Lovecasting live from Costa Mesa, California, and this is your Tuesday Namaste Today. Good day and Namaste, and welcome to Namaste Today. My name is stepº27. I am a psychic astrologer and the Sensei to Serious Joy, here to stand in my heart and Sensei the light. Welcome to my little episode. Today is for Tuesday, October 20th, 2015, and joining me is my studio guard dog, Bella. She'll make sure no insects or critters hop on the set, and she's right now doing her job, holding some space for me. This webisode is for our step 27 of Libra. We have now progressed to step 27. We're wrapping up our Libra transit. And right now, that means we are wrapping up our ideas of justice, fairness, partnership, relationships, marriage, and divorce. And most importantly, what I call our marriage. So yesterday and through today, we made our marriage vows. We decided what we wanted to dedicate toward. We all came to some sort of decision. This might have played out in a contract. This might have played out with a relationship. This might have just played out with you in the mirror, finally having enough with yourself. So we drew the line in the last 24 hours, and today it's time to take action. Action is what step 27 is about. And step 27 tells me precisely in the architecture of incarnation what the perfect time to act is. It is when you feel it, step 2, and when you sense it, step 7, then you act. If you feel it and you sense it, then you act. But today's topic actually deals with something that I often find that happens in lieu of people acting, and I call it the law of distraction. You've heard of the law of attraction, I'm sure, and the law of attraction, just so you're clear, is what you be is what comes. That's how the law of attraction works in our present reality. The law of distraction is also a law, I think, that happens in quantum mechanics, but in this case, it basically defines what can happen in lieu of a law of attraction. So my theory is a person is either law of attracting or a person is law of distracting. All right? Those are the two options we have. One is our foot on the gas, law of attracting. One is our foot not on the gas, law of distracting. And the way I define the law of distraction is this. When a soul fears to act, it will tend to distract. I'll say it again. When a soul fears to act, it will tend to distract. So in other words, when you're afraid of taking action in your life, you will distract yourself with other action. Okay? I had someone I talked to not recently, they said every night their wife goes to bed playing Candy Crush. And, you could see he was kind of aggravated about it. And I was like, in the old days, a wife got a headache. You know what I mean? Now she's playing Candy Crush at night. She's distracted. Well, it's because there's some action that's not happening there, whether it's intimacy or whatever. And, I'm just Sensei looking in, trying to figure out how this whole thing works. But I find that in my own life and in my client's life, we easily get distracted with a lot of things, and we do because, one, we're supposed to be acting right now, and so that energy is being channeled somewhere, usually in a distraction, okay? And two, we're doing that because we're afraid of taking action. We're afraid of actually moving forward with what our heart wants. And something in me at a young age was very blessed to know that the difference between people who are a success and people who are not a success is the people who are a success tried. They tried. That's it. They just tried. The people who are not a success are the ones who don't try. And one of the ways very talented, very spiritual, very capable people never pull it off is because of the law of distraction. They are not actively attracting what they want, so they are distracted because they are afraid of going after what they want. So Today's 5 o'clock question is designed to help you interpret your own laws of distraction and see if you are in fact off on the law of distraction today, or in step 27, are you on the law of attraction? That's the question. So here's the question, be honest. What is your biggest distraction in life? Is it Candy Crush? You know what I mean? Like, what is it? Is it Angry Birds? There's a lot of little iPhone and iOS video games. I wasn't very much into Atari. I just had so much I wanted to do. You know, even building empires in the sandbox. So I didn't get too much into video games. But a lot of people are distracted by them, and I understand. My son's a Gemini. He calms down, so I'm not judging. But what is your biggest distraction? So that's the first question. The second question is, what does your heart gain? What does your heart gain when you're being distracted by this? All right. So, as always, being a sensei of seriousness, I will answer my own questions. First is, what is my biggest distraction? Well, that's obvious. It's pornography. No, I'm just kidding. I was trying to keep that in my head. No, the truth is actually I don't really get into that sort of visual thing. I don't like to see anything I can't have. So I've never been went into that sort of thing. Since I made a joke, I might as well qualify right now. But actually, I think that my biggest distraction in life has been dreaming or thinking about love. And you might go, well, that's not a bad distraction. Well, as it turns out, I haven't actually attracted love. I've just been distracted by thinking about it. And I've thought about it through, being obsessed in, little, different dating sites where I'm talking, or I've been obsessed in chat rooms, distracted. Nothing, in front of me, nothing real. Instead, off thinking. I've been in my head, listening to music. I've been writing love stories. Anything but taking the actions, whatever they may be, for finding love. So what does my heart gain by being distracted by thinking about love versus pursuing love? Well, I think it made me believe it was possible. I think that my heart was trying to believe, was trying to support myself in the hard times. I think that the gain of the distraction was keeping me going and pursuing. So I think it was, valuable. But in the end, look, ain't no ring on the left finger. You know what I mean? So there you go. So ask yourself today, and for those watched over my personal Sensei network, which, by the way, we will be opening up enrollments again in about 10 to 15 days. So hang tight. And for those who do want to enroll, you can sign up to be notified. Just hit Serious Joy on my website at soulgarden.tv, and you'll see a mailing list you can sign up for. But those who are currently in the service, you'll notice we started a new feature yesterday called Your 5 O'Clock Question. And so today, I'll be posting to you a question at 5 o'clock. You can kind of ponder through dinner time about what it is that you might be distracted by. I'm going to throw some things out there based on your astrological information that I believe it may be. All right. So, folks, summing up today's topic, it's very simple. Either you are law of attracting or you are law of distracting. And the only way you know the difference is if you're pursuing something your heart really wants, then you are law of attracting. Okay? If you are being what you want to come, you are law of attracting. If you are not being what you want to come, you basically are in some sort of distraction mode. All right, so let's dive into my guides and see what they have to say about the vibrations of the day and my higher self, and see what my logical side left out. Okay, so as I get quiet and go in, I get a really strong, heartfelt, burst of energy around Jupiter and Mars still. So Jupiter and Mars, I think, are really making changes on the planet. Even in with some clients that I speak to in counsel, my private clientele, I've noticed in the last 3-4 days, people are getting off their astro and they're making changes. I think that is Mars conjuncting Jupiter. They may not be telling other people about it because it's too prideful. It's like pulling ourselves out of ruts. But I do believe that we are doing that. So today, Mars hit step 15. Step 15 is I love and what I'm mindful of. So in essence, it's all about the mind. It is all about being mindful of what it is you want to attract. Okay, so being mindful of what you want to attract. We're putting into motion really how do I put this? You know, Libra, what's interesting about Libra is it's a back and forth energy. So think of that duck that goes like, no offense to Libras out there. You know, that duck that like feeds itself like, you know, like over and over. That's kind of Libra. Like Libras are in perpetual motion. They kind of never stop, right? Like, so really the actions that we're taking today, what I'm picking up on is like, this is like, you're setting a pace, you're setting a motion, you're setting a stride, okay? And don't let anything break your stride. Definitely quoting an 80s song there coming up, by the way, which has to be today's rock and roll gospel. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride, right? I don't even know who sang that, but we'll look it up and post it. But really, today's about finding that stride and feeling that stride. So I feel this like, this is great like fire in my chest of joy and happiness. But then like energetically, I feel like it's kind of mechanical. It's kind of like a factory day for most people, and people are kind of feeling like. In some ways, it's like every other day. But really, what it is today is that you're going to get a certain stride, a certain clockwork. And that's going to be kind of like the rhythm that your soul takes, the soul signature and the soul rhythm that you take through the fall. Now, the moon is in the high degrees of Capricorn, so people are making very high vibrational choices. So this is coming very clear from the guides. Make a plan, but plan to change your plans. That's what they're saying. So they're saying, make a plan right now. Like if God said, if the universe said, okay, make your choice, what is it going to be? It's like, you know, like, or just think of a game show. It doesn't have to be a gun to your head. That's kind of an antiquated example. But like, you know, like in essence, make your plan and decide. Your new things are going to come along people's paths. So really, they're telling me that the plans we make will not be exactly as we see because we don't know all that's coming. However, when it comes to manifesting reality, you have to hold a vision strong and hold that note to have it kind of crystallize. And so, you know, the moon in Capricorn is, you might be making a lot of plans with your emotions that feel like forever, but they're not. By the time Pluto gets up there, to those high degrees of Capricorn, which is like, you know, which is like 2020, 2022, when Pluto really gets up there, we all may make different choices. So go ahead and make those plans that seem long term. You know, at the end of the day, people, it's that you always have to trust yourself, not necessarily trust what will happen in the world. Okay, so the last thing I want to bring up just is that the mind needs to be programmed for the new male, the new man, or the new wombed man. So there's a new sheriff in town inside of you, and your thoughts must be the sheriff. It cannot be the old victim. It cannot be the old you. It cannot be any of the old thinking. It will pollute, and it might make you trip when you try to take action and start your perpetual motion. All right, that's it for today. Well, friends, I'm so grateful for you. If you'd like to comment on my shows, come on down to the Mothership of Light, soulgarden.tv. Also, you'll find links to join and register, and other videos will open up at that time. And like I said, you can join my mailing list for my Serious Joy Personal Sensei Network. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, input at cwateki on Twitter, and I do put out Serious Joy alerts from time to time. All right, my friends, I will see you tomorrow for Hump Day. Remember, I do love you, and live, love, be.